When I was growing up, Laudium was a land of milk and honey. So I thought, or believed, well, I thought the streets were paved with gold and that literally everything was perfect. And I never thought to go or see this for myself, even when I was an adult. Not even once did it dawn on me while I was passing the area to just drive in and just see how Laudium was. I mean, what would I be looking for and why would I even think of going to Laudium? I personally don't know anybody from Laudium. So that's one of the reasons why I've never been there. And I've been to Attridge Vale, which is a black township that's next to Laudium, to visit friends and family. And I've also been to the prison just next to Laudium. No, I wasn't arrested and convicted, but I just went to the prison to just visit somebody I knew. And not even once did it dawn on me to drive into Laudium. So this drive is going to take you into the heart of Laudium. I drove in and out of Laudium just to see how it looks like, and it sort of put things into perspective for me. And for some reason, some of the things that I thought were really not, and some of the things that I thought were not really were. So, one of the things that made me think that Laudium is a land of honey and milk is the fact that kids in my community who used to study in the community of Laudium were from families that were considered to be well off. And by well off, I mean that both parents were employed and or were professionals, a nurse, a doctor, an architect, and they lived in the suburbs and both the parents had cars and lived in a double-story home or lived in a double-story home. For me as a child, that was a symbol of being well off. I mean, I didn't know anything else, then what would I be comparing it to? So for me, that was what the land of milk and honey was in my mind. And to top it off, these kids were not easily accessible to us normal children. They had another life that some of us did not understand. They were always indoors, keeping to themselves, speaking posh English. So you can agree with me that exclusivity or them being exclusive to certain things or not being inclusive in the things that we did as kids of that community gave them some sort of status, okay? So yeah. So enough about my childhood now and what I used to think as a child. Let's get into some facts that are well known about Laudium, and I'll tell you about all of those. So remember to follow, like, subscribe, and also comment. Each and every comment, negative or positive, does help me in some way to improve the channel. So I'm looking forward to just hearing what you guys have to say about what you are seeing on screen. Laudium is an Indian township that was classified as an Indian township under apartheid. It's in the southwest of central Pretoria in the city of Tshwane Metropolitan Municipality. The original name for Laudium was Claudius. It was initially planned as a white area named after Claudius Mare de Vries, who owned a farm called Mooiplatz and was also a former mayor of Pretoria. Laudium was created by the apartheid government as part of their policy aimed at moving ethnic groups out of the Central Business District and Marabastad in Pretoria. They removed them from these white zoned areas following the passage of a Group Areas Act that was passed. This Group Areas Act was to say that black people cannot own any property in South Africa. Laudium was then proclaimed as an Indian township in 1961. It has a large number of Hindu and Muslim residents, with a large number of temple and mosques. Laudium was a relatively wealthy area, which was unusual for a township, with very large mansions visible from the R55, which is the main road. However, due to the crime in the area, many residents have abandoned the area for safer, greener pastures on the southern or eastern gated communities in the suburb of Centurion. The area is currently in decline, mainly due to crime, unemployment, and drugs. Just next to Laudium, there's a black township called Atteridgeville. And the two areas are separated by a series of hills, and no direct tarred road exists between the two, but there's a road that is called R55, which passes near Atteridgeville. Laudium has a large number of government schools as well as private schools. However, since the end of apartheid, most Indian children from Laudium have begun attending newly established private and religious schools or schools in the formerly white areas, which are called Model C schools and private schools. While government schools continue to be staffed mostly by Indian teachers, most of the pupils in these schools are black and commute directly from black townships. Laudium also has a hospital. The hospital was created under apartheid for Indians from Laudium and surrounding areas, and it also closed down. And this is now called the Laudium Community Health Center, which is like a clinic and is controlled by the provincial department of the Department of Health. Most, if not all of the residents of the informal settlement called Itireleng make use of the community health center. The facility is staffed mainly by foreign, Cuban, Nigerian, or Congolese doctors. In addition to the community healthcare center, a clinic operates at the heart of the Laudium CBD. This clinic offers primary health care. It has no beds and it is strictly a day clinic. And Laudium has a number of private medical practitioners and pharmacies. One of the big stores to come out of Laudium was in 2018. One of the big stories to come out of Laudium was in 2018 when there was a sinkhole that opened up on the main road, and that caused the main road going out of Laudium to be closed. The sinkhole was estimated to be about 30 meters deep and 25 meters wide. A preliminary report that was compiled by the technical team estimated that around 50 million rands would be needed to repair the sinkhole. And they also estimated that the repairs may take about 6 months to complete. 2 homes were mainly affected by the ground collapse, as well as the main road. The sinkhole was repaired and all seems to be in order. I cannot even begin to imagine what the occupants of the houses that were affected were going through at that time. The population of Laudium in 2011 was estimated at 19,100, and the area is an average of 6,000 kilometers squared. Driving around this area has pretty much amazed me. I'm not going to tell any lies. Firstly, the big houses that I thought I was going to see were in gated communities, and I couldn't access them because, well, I'm not a resident and I don't know anybody who lives there, so I had to go to the community right across, which did not have any gated communities. So I'll just go deeper into telling you what I saw and what was happening at that time. So accessing the community for me was nothing new. And when I started driving, nothing was out of the ordinary. It looked like another day in the suburbs. The fact that this was deemed to be a township was shocking to me. I guess maybe at that time it was deemed to be a township because non-Europeans were living there. You'll also see when I go with you to the township that it's quite different. If this is a township, this is a very luxurious township. Like the roads are tarred, there are shops, parks are clean, parks are well taken care of, they are maintained. There is littering, but not that much. It looks like the community here gets their waste taken by municipality to be dumped elsewhere. The parks have big trees. There's big trees on the streets. The schools have grass and are looked after. This place looks more like a suburb than anything else. Like it's better than it's even better than some suburbs that I know. And the houses look like a combination of both new money and old money. And the other thing that I noticed is that they've got low cost housing in the community, which I found to be it's quite nice to just involve everybody in the community to be able to live with you. And yeah, that was quite interesting. And that's it for today. Please remember to like, follow, subscribe. You can also follow me on on other social media, and I'm looking forward to hearing from you to what you think about Laudium, and you can let me know how I can also improve. Thank you so much for watching.